Was that a rooster?
Moist out here.
What? How long have we been stuck in this trap of pit?
Hours.
I don't even know anymore.
I don't know.
I'm just sitting here in the mud, and I could feel it squishing in between my toes, and I'm still wearing socks, so the mud is in my socks.
Anyone else have really rancid swamp ass right now?
Yeah. I mean, that goes without saying.
Well, I mean, we always have that. It's Florida, but still, this is worse than normal. Why is this here? Why would Felix do this? Is this to punish us, or
The
is
man
this
had a lot of hatred in that heart.
It seems that way, but I mean, is that a generational thing? I'm saying, looking at you with one eye.
I guess.
Without a doubt, it could be an indoor swimming pool, an in shack, in trailer.
Nick's
So this is in ground.
It says right here, "Fuck you, vagrants."
Yeah.
Over here, it says, "Vagrants die, die, vagrant scum die."
I just thought he didn't like that band.
What vagrant hurt him at some point in his life? This is really personal
Very
feeling.
angry man. He would
Right?
just do this sometimes. You just make these. I'm not surprised. I kind of lost track how many he made.
Why didn't you tell us there were pits out here for us? If you knew there was a bunch of them.
Did you help him assemble this?
Maybe some of them.
Oh.
Not this one, though.
Help!
What?
Help!
We haven't tried that yet. Oh my God, we should probably try yelling for help.
Yeah. Oh my God, I never thought.
Anybody?
Help!
Hey, help!
Anyone?
What is? Oh, I hear. Is that someone out walking around?
Oh, they're sound tiny.
I hear sticks.
It's a rustling.
Rustling of leaves.
Oh, good. What's coming to finish us off?
Oh, great. This is a tiger pit, isn't it? Go!
Whoa, what's that?
Fuck!
What the hell? You okay, Fritz?
Just throw a rock through a
Somebody
window.
just hit him in the head with a rock. That was awesome. This is the best thing that's happened all night.
You alright?
Where'd all
What
this
the
glass
hell?
come from?
There's
Schmutzy.
Schmutzy throw a rock
I don't know how
at
she
the
did
window
that.
pane.
I think it was thrown at you. I actually think it was at you.
How'd she do that? though?
Schmutzy, come. Okay, easy.
Oh, hey.
No. It's okay, baby.
Still
Come here.
doesn't like me.
It's okay. Come here.
You're alright.
It's
Oh,
okay.
Schmutzy.
It's okay.
God, the air feels so much better, even though it's still very hot.
Oh, she's probably so hungry.
Yeah, that's why she-
She's looking at us like she's kind of hungry. That's why I don't like
Is
it.
that why Schmutzy came?
Yeah.
'Cause
I think she's hungry.
Schmutzy's only after Schmutzy?
Schmutzy!
I mean,
She's a cat.
yeah.
Oh, look.
It's breakfast time.
She's lowering ropes for us, like Tarzan.
Holy cow, this cat can throw rocks and lower ropes. This is a rockin' cat right here.
All right, hold on. Let me try to get the first rope. Here we go.
And blacked on right on top of
Very
him.
rough.
damn.
That was perfect. I'm
She
liking
did this
this
on
cat more
purpose
and
to you?
more.
Did he build this thing too? Because that is not a safe route.
Yeah, that looks like standard cat technology right there.
All right. Well, she really likes me, guys, and I'm usually the one who feeds her in the morning, so let me try first, because she'll at least let me up. All right, I got up, guys. Just follow up. I'm distracted. Come here, baby.
How is Angela already up?
Come here.
Where is she? I didn't even see her climb.
I do this all the time.
Why did you do it?
Nick's Brian, get there.
It's slippery. All right, I'm coming up.
Come on. I got you. Oh.
Get my little backpack out. All right, just get in your little backpack.
All right, man, Daddy, go ahead.
Okay, as you can tell by my body shape, I am very adept at climbing ropes. Here we go.
All right.
Oh, God. Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Let's go.
I got your ass.
Go back. Go back.
Push that tush.
We got
Push that
you.
tush.
Come on. Help.
Oh, my God, that was rough.
All right, my turn. Here we go.
It's okay, baby.
That was my fault. I kicked it out. I'm
Daddy.
sorry. I just had to fight. Throw it up. Throw it back up. I'm sorry. Throw it back up here.
He's knocked out now.
Okay, here we go. All right, you're up this part of the rope. You get up this part, okay? 1, 2, 3.
Come on. Try a little harder. Oh, no.
Fritzy boy, how you doing?
Guys, I did not have this much trouble.
Come here, buddy. Come here. Wake up, buddy.
Come on.
Wake up. It's okay, buddy. It's okay.
Hey.
All right.
Come back to reality.
Come on.
Over there.
I think I'm going to be sick.
Oh, wow. You might be concussed.
How have I gotten 3 concussions already?
Gravity.
That's a normal day for you, isn't it?
Someone look around over there. Where were these ropes coming from? Why are they even here?
They look like not nautical type of ropes.
This
Like,
is
you know,
definitely
like,
tied
use
together
on-
in a very elaborate system.
Yeah.
Looks like it was...
Especially for a cat.
What is that piece of paper over there? Oh, it's notes.
Oh, well.
Felix's notes.
That's
Convenient.
kind of
Very direct.
Yeah, that will work.
An event of emergency. So apparently he's been trapped here several times, guys. There you go.
Oh.
What a piece of
He
shit.
would trap himself. That doesn't surprise me.
That's all it says?
Let's get out of here.
In case of emergency, don't worry, the cat will show up
Oh,
eventually.
my
I think
God.
is that all it said right there.
All right.
Well, this
All right,
sucks already.
let's traverse this area. Let's see where
Useless.
the hell we're trapped at because it smells kind of funky, and I want to know what the hell's going on.
It's a nice cool day.
At least that. It feels like there's an ocean breeze going on or something like that over here.
Briny.
I wonder if
And
we're
well,
close to
yeah, kind of.
Yeah, it does smell like shit.
a little bit
Salty shit. Fishy
water,
salt
stank
shit.
water.
Decay. Yeah.
This is,
Like decaying fish.
Schmutzy's off. Schmutzy's off.
She loves
Oh, she can smell the fish.
She
Smells
loves
like fish.
Should we just follow her?
And she's hauling after the
let's-
fish, so there's fish around.
Yeah.
Oh, look,
Follow
look.
the cat.
There's a sign
What does that say?
to Naval Yard. Naval Yard.
Naval
What
Yard.
the
No,
fuck?
that would explain all the ships and everything that
Okay.
we found.
Like warships? Angela, he had a naval yard?
An armada?
We can follow this foot trail, I guess, and get out of here. By the way, thanks so much, Murray, for having us keep our shoes in the fort, because this sucks.
yeah.
And now I have
I
trench
just told you to
foot.
take them off. I didn't tell you not to put them back on when we left.
This is true.
Yeah, that was me. I thought maybe we were on a golf cart, we'd be right back and not trapped.
Wait, where is the golf cart?
You parked it. Where'd you park it?
Oh, no.
She loses her car everywhere we go.
Gotta stop
this is the
smoking
thing.
weed before adventures. We never figure out where we parked.
All right, well, I guess we're doing this one on foot.
Yeah, and
just keep
straight
going.
on foot, like raw dog.
Let me get my
on foot.
backpack with all my tape
Where'd you get that
tape
backpack?
cassettes. Well, I had this.
Supplies, man.
Yeah, I never go anywhere without my drugs. Wink, wink.
Okay.
All right, so let's take a little trip.
I'm seeing a lot of, like you said, a
It's
lot
getting
of.
progressively darker and creepier.
Yeah,
and
it's getting like
eerier.
foggier.
Is it just me or is there fog?
Yeah,
Where's
it's
that
like
coming
it's
from?
rolling in. I've seen a few horror
See the
movies. And
path
fog is
anymore.
like
It's
that.
Is that like a marina bell going on? What is that?
Oh man, those are cranes, dude. Look in the
yeah.
distance. That's cranes.
Those things
like
fall
a
on people every day on the
shipyard.
news. I do not
Yeah.
like cranes. Anytime you turn on the news, a crane fell on somebody. So let's stay away from all the cranes. Those things scare me on their own.
Yeah, so if he had cranes, he's making massive ships, dude. In Restrepum Bay, this is Restrepum Bay.
It's got to be the way this smells.
You didn't recognize that stink?
Okay, so this is what time is it? Does anyone know?
Do you have like an astrolabe or something? Let me see. Look at the constellations. So it's this
Constellation.
here.
Constellation.
It's maybe what, like 5:30, quarter to 6.
I
Let's
could
go
see
with
that.
that.
Accurate for you.
very
That's
accurate.
impressive.
Yeah,
That's
I
just
impressive.
gotta,
I'll
you
take it. I don't care. I'm still
Twilight.
awake. I don't know why.
Here in the twilight dawn hours.
Yeah, sure.
That's nice. Twilight Dawn.
Not the
Sounds
shiny
so spooky.
vampires.
There's still a heavy mist on Restrepum Bay, a heavy fog, and it looks like everything is way spookier than it ought to be.
Pea soup.
Well, I
It's almost
didn't
pea
think
soup
that,
this
you
time.
know, like cartoon stink lines existed, but that could be what's coming off
Yeah,
of
I
this.
think that's what it is.
I can't even tell how many ships are here. You can barely make out sails.
I almost ran into the
Whoa, that's okay. That's
This one is
just messed
painted
up.
all black.
All
That's
right,
what I'm
everybody,
saying.
put your
Oh,
hands
that's
out like
not-
you're blind. We
that's
got
messed
this.
up.
Really don't remember.
We're
So
not-
Not
can't even
dirt
tell
anymore.
how
I can hear wooden planks under us.
Oh wow, this is definitely getting creepier and creepier.
You got a dock?
The further we get in, the fog, you're just seeing them appear out of nowhere. Is that what happened? Because I just nearly walked into a dinghy over here.
Yeah.
It's just a dinghy. You think you'd say a dinghy, but a whole ship?
I don't know why you would paint ships all black. That makes no sense to me.
Because it's tight AF.
It looks so cool.
Maybe they're trying to make the ships invisible.
It's the Batman of ships.
Look over
seen
here.
Sons of
Here's-
Anarchy?
Here's a paint bucket, Vanta Black, the blackest of blacks.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
This reminds me a lot of
boy.
another thing that happened. Have y'all ever heard of the Philadelphia experiment?
The Elton John song?
No, that's Philadelphia Freedom. That's Philadelphia Freedom.
Was it
That's
cream
about
cheese?
tennis. That's about tennis. This is about ships disappearing. It's a very different subject. Let's try it again. Let's try it one more time. Philadelphia Freedom, tennis.
Yeah.
Philadelphia experiment,
Elton.
ships disappearing.
Ships
cheese.
are-
It's very subtle.
Yeah.
It's very subtle.
So what about this Philadelphia experiment?
Well, check it out. It's kind of funky. So on October 28th, 1943, a man known as Carl M. Adam, who went by the pseudonym Carlos Miguel Allende,
Way cooler.
fancy,
That's got some swank to it.
he claimed that he saw at a Philadelphia naval shipyard a ship disappear
What?
into
Like-
nothing.
Like
Like
David Copperfield? Like,
Yes.
wow.
He witnessed it being there and
And
disappearing.
then
All in one shot?
reappearing.
What?
But it
Did he
gets
close his eyes?
weirder. It's just- was that a long blink?
long
Did you just
blink.
blink long time? That's how that works, right? Here's how it all started. First, he contacted an author known as Morris K. Jessup, who is the author of a book called The Case of the UFO. The Case for the UFO, excuse me. Case for the UFO.
But this is in 1943?
1956.
1956.
1956.
How I
And so this guy wrote a book explaining the possibilities of how UFOs could use propulsion that's not like ours. How they could
Okay.
use different electromagnetic or different forces of physics.
Kind of
I
like
like
Bob
that.
Lazar from Area 51.
Right. And so This Carl Allen, or Carlos Allende,
He teaches tango.
sent him a letter explaining that he really liked his theories and that he himself was involved with work with Albert Einstein, and that Albert Einstein had actually created the unified field theorem, which combined the theory of relativity with electromagnetism.
Man, way to name
which
drop.
has not been proven anyway. And so the guy read the letters and thought that was really interesting and kind of dismissed it. And then he was contacted by Naval's Office of Naval Research.
Wait, what?
Yes, Navy's Office of Naval Research contacted the author Jessup, and he said they received a package that was a book in an envelope that just said, Happy Easter.
Oh. Okay.
And so it was Jessup's book. But in it, it had all these different annotations from 3 different people, looked like 3 different types of handwriting and 3 different types of writing, going through and describing different parts of the book and how it was right and explaining things how it went further. And one of the voices, shall we say, in ink, seemed to be of alien origin. It was using non-standard capitalization and punctuation, and other people said, oh, it looks like it's alien.
It was just Spanish. They didn't know at the time.
It's the 50s. It's the 50s.
It was wingdings.
That, of course, got the Navy's attention because it was pointing out different things in the book that said that the alien said they got right and other things they said got wrong. That takes us back to what he claims to have seen. Now, what Carl, or Carlos, claims to have seen is on October 28th in 1943, the USS Eldridge, a cannon-class destroyer escort, it was doing top-secret experiments because right at the time we were not doing well in the naval side of the war because the German U-boats were really just wrecking us. We were trying to figure out ways that we could disguise our ships so the U-boats couldn't get us, and we would do better when it came to the way they mined the areas because the mines used magnetism.
Okay.
And so he claims that he was standing there on another ship watching the Eldridge. First, beforehand, he saw them loading up different types of experimental equipment and these big weird generators and putting those on the ship.
Like synths.
Just huge shit.
Analog synths everywhere.
I mean, it was
Just nothing but
Kraftwerk.
Moog.
Yeah.
Nothing but Moog and tons of chords.
Kraftwerk. What an interesting name.
Did we know it was experimental, or was it just like a big computer at the time?
Well, all computers were big at the time, so, I mean, basically,
Yeah.
you want 2 megabytes, you need like 4 rooms. So what he claims is that they activated the machines, and then the ship was covered in a greenish glow. And then
Just a DJ rig.
it was Skrillex. But it was covered in this glow, and all of a sudden, gone. That the entire ship disappeared.
And this was like a massive ship, right?
Yes, this is a destroyer class, not a small little dinghy. Gone for a little while, and then
Did it make that noise?
reappeared. Yes, you get every time. It reappeared. And there's other people that say the ship was then seen at Norfolk Naval Shipyard in Virginia before disappearing again and reappearing back in
So
Philadelphia.
you're like positing teleportation?
Teleportation. And there are some reports that it actually showed up in Philadelphia before it disappeared.
Wait.
So that it was experiment in time travel and teleportation.
So it went just going all over.
It was in 2 places
Bumping
at
everywhere.
once?
Just went everywhere.
The Benny Hill theme
Yeah,
over and over
Hackney
again.
Sax playing in the background.
Yakety sax all day long.
It would just be like a weird outline of it waiting for it.
I guess this would theorize that it was bending dimensions and kind of metaphysically appearing in several places at once and also teleporting.
Well,
So a whole bunch is at play here.
That's why Carlos, I just did air quotes,
Air quotes, yeah.
for those listening at home. That's why Carlos says that it was an experiment creating the unified field theorem. Because that's never been proven. Because there are issues with electromagnetism and the special theory of relativity that just don't match up. And that there's a lot of the theory of relativity that have been proven, especially when it comes to black hole observation, stuff like that, but there's still stuff that doesn't combine the two. Mm-hmm. And this author was claiming that these experiments were proving that Einstein did complete the unified field theorem. And the thing that got scary is that the claim is that the boat had a skeleton crew on it, I think about 25 people, and when it reappeared, things weren't that good for them.
They were actual skeletons.
Worse.
No.
Skeleton would have actually been kind of good.
Uh-oh.
Because some of them just never came back.
Uh-oh. Where'd they go?
Some of them just immediately started having insane nausea and diarrhea and just body evacuations of every way.
Well, that's what, when Nightcrawler teleports, that bamf is just him shitting his pants.
He shit sulfur?
Yeah.
He shit sulfur.
That's a full load in that diaper.
Yeah.
I love Nightcrawler.
It's a lot for your body to go through.
But those were the ones that got off light. Because some people claimed that they were teleported and had parts of their body fused into the wall.
I was going to say, kind of like, like a video game glitch.
Where they were alive, but their arm and one person from their torso down was trapped in steel and therefore died a agonizing and really weird death, we can all admit.
A malfunction.
Some claim to have turned invisible and couldn't convince other people they were there. Overall, it seems like this was not the most successful of experiments for the Navy to get into when it comes to teleporting human beings on a ship made of metal. Of course, the Navy has denied all of this.
Of course they would.
And what they say is that it was not about invisibility or teleportation. Is that the giant machines that they were adding to the ships were actually trying to figure out a way to scramble the magnetic signatures of the ship using a technique called degaussing.
Okay,
which
yeah.
would actually create a interference pattern around it, so the magnetic pattern could not be found, especially for the mines and the torpedoes.
Oh, that's good technology.
And also, and another thing is that there are actually inland canals that connect Norfolk to Virginia that makes the ship able to travel for like between the two in a few hours.
But
and
not instantly.
But I'm just saying maybe there was annotating errors when it came to ship logs or things like that.
Good point. Yeah.
And so, in the end, we'll never completely know if it's real or not. But if any of these ships here have been tried to be used for an invisibility experiment, we should probably get away unless we want to be infused into the hull of a ship.
Well, that explains the Vanta Black. I'm going to keep that over there.
I always thought the Philadelphia experiment had to do with hoagies and grinders.
And Tom.
We could
Tom
do that
Hanks.
later. We could do that. I could make a bunch of hoagies and grinders disappear really quick.
Let's have Tom Hanks come down with Denzel Washington, make us some hoagies and grinders. Call it a day.
That's doable. I got a guy.
Is it Denzel Washington or Tom Hanks?
My man.
I've done a little of this, a little of that. You never know. I see a light in the fog. Do you guys see that?
Oh, yeah.
Should we follow the light?
I thought that was maybe a helicopter or something in the distance.
Or is that
Sometimes
bad?
the light is just in the tunnel is just a train coming at you. So let's
Yeah.
be careful about
Yeah,
We got
yeah,
50-50
I saw that
here.
cartoon.
Yeah.
Do we go into the light? Do we
Yeah.
not go
this. No,
into the
Carol Ann.
light?
No, Carol Ann. Go into the light. Stay away from the light. Go into the light, Carol Ann.
All right,
Stay
well,
away from the light, Carol Ann.
I'm going to go to the light, guys.
Yeah, let's go to the light and not get a ship,
At least we'll be able to
materialize on top of
see.
us.
Yeah,
Be
yeah.
careful about that.
All right.
I hope there's
you
no
guys just
snakes.
follow me. It'll be fine. I'll go
Snakes.
first. Just follow behind me.
Okay.
I
it
still
out.
hate the way my feet feel in the mud.
Mine have dried up really nicely into some fashionable Adobe Jordans.
Those look like Crocs.
Oh, maybe this is a warehouse. Look, there's like a huge barn door that's open.
Yeah.
What are they called? Barn doors?
Yeah?
Yeah. You did it.
And it looks like there's a red door. Maybe that's an office or something.
Okay.
I see
Ooh,
a
they're-
red door. I just want to paint that thing black.
There's a lot.
I mean, we've got the paint back there.
There's a lot of different things in here. I think we could maybe explore. Looks like there's cargo, and I don't know.
At a
about,
shipping yard?
I don't know about you guys, but maybe we can find some shoes.
That
Yeah.
would be
There's
nice.
gotta be
That would be
something.
advantageous.
Try some of these puppies open.
There's some
right.
clothes.
Let's take a quick break and see what kind of contraband we can.
Ooh, okay. Yeah,
find.
no, there you go. Yeah.
All right.
And whittle
I'll
on
smoke
mine.
something out of a shoe.
Here's a
Might be something
crowbar.
useful.
Got a crowbar.
That's made of crows!
Welcome back to Fort Fritz. We have been rummaging through these boxes. There is sawdust and styrofoam peanuts everywhere. But
Everywhere.
you know what?
Lord of Salton Sea.
I was able to find a pair of shoes for everyone. These are the, it looks like the Adidas Trim Stars, not unlike the Steve Zissou variety. So everyone try on your shoes.
I didn't
perfect.
nail you as a sneakerhead. I never thought you'd be a sneakerhead.
I mean, these are gorgeous and they're brand new. So
All right.
I do
And
not
they
wear a
fit?
size 15.
You will now.
Ooh.
Yes, I will now.
Yeah, these aren't pretty, not
It's
bad.
gotta
Not
fit
bad. I
perfectly.
kind of like them.
That creeped me out, the fact that they fit perfectly.
all right, let's keep hacking away with these axes.
What are these? Ship parts? What is this?
Look lot of bilge rats. Bilge rats. I never knew bilge rats get that big, but that's pretty big. That's pretty big bilge rats.
Nick, stop chopping the wall.
Sorry.
Look at the crates.
Focus.
I didn't bring my glasses.
It's okay. I'm
This
not
one
mad
just
at you.
has smaller crates in it, like
Yeah,
Russian
right.
doll style.
What is
What's
that?
the point of
Crates
this?
within crates within crates.
What's that big thing with a canvas over there? What is that?
Probably a canvas.
It's a teepee.
Probably a box of canvases.
Maybe it's a TP
Oops,
box.
there's like rat shit on it.
Oh, let's check it out.
All right.
Why
Careful.
wouldn't you?
Man, Daddy, you get the other edge. Ready?
Why do I have to get the rat shit in?
There we go.
Oh,
We're gonna
my
do
God.
we're gonna do one of those bed sheet things. Ready?
No.
One, two,
Put it in the air.
No.
1, 2. Why did you do this? This is disgusting.
Everywhere.
My mouth.
Oh my God.
It's in my mouth.
I
Why?
know. It's fucking horrible.
Why did you do that? It's in my eyes.
Oh, that is a lot of rat
Oh,
shit.
That's
my
not even
God.
going to be pink eye. That's going to be like ultra pink eye or something.
It's
What is that?
Oh, it's a little like lifeboat.
Oh, that's a nice looking
There's
lifeboat.
like personal items in here and stuff. It's weird.
Is there money?
Is the heart of the sea
There's
in
like
there?
a hat over there, and there's handwriting.
Handwriting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right there. Yeah.
Click A to zoom in.
Wait, hold on. It seems like there's painting over the insignia here. I can't really make it out.
yeah, it looked like somebody
What?
did it hastily.
Yeah.
Marie, is this your boat? What does this say? Is that your name?
Oh my God.
Mary
Oh.
Croissant. What does that say?
I know exactly what this is.
What is it?
Have you guys ever heard of the Mary Celeste? Really?
Is that like those frozen
Oh, those
dinners?
are good. Those are good.
There's the Marie calendars.
Oh,
But then there is a Celeste
No relation.
pizza.
Ooh. Do they know each other or are they friends?
Maybe it's the same people.
Ooh, another conspiracy to investigate.
That's interesting, though, because the Mary Celeste is kind of known for being a couple different things. To the Canadians who built this merchant brigantine, it was a normal seafaring vessel made to specifications. To the Americans who ordered her, she was as advertised. And to those who dedicated their lives and well-being to the confines within, she was much more. She may have also been their deathbed.
I don't like this.
Yeah, watch out. This duality has been the only constant since the sailing vessel Mary Celeste was found adrift off the Azores Islands on December 4th, 1872. There's a lot going on about this boat. You'll find many different things, quick little lists about different names and everything on various websites. But there's a big mystery at the end of her life. So in all these mystery podcasts, dedicating all their time, they all reach the same consensus. There is no answer. There's no resolution. There's no absolution.
Ooh, good word.
The question will always remain, what happened to the 10 people aboard the Mary Celeste?
Wow.
Captain Benjamin Briggs, First Mate Albert Richardson, 6 crew members, and 2 faithful passengers. Captain Briggs' wife, Sarah, and their young daughter, Sophia.
Oh, beautiful name.
It is beautiful. So the backstory, the keel of a 2-masted ship was laid down in Nova Scotia, Canada in 1860. So the maiden voyage was in June of 1861, and the boat's original name was Amazon.
Ooh.
But then 2 events happened. A storm drove the vessel ashore near Nova Scotia in October of 1867, so about 6 years after her first voyage, maiden voyage, and the ship was declared a wreck. So it was bought as a derelict ship, refitted. So this guy, Richard Haynes, became her new captain. And in 1868, December of 1868, he renamed her following maritime new ownership traditions. So she's got to get a new name. So now...
Brand new ship, yeah.
Goes from the Amazon, or just Amazon, and now she is the Mary Celeste.
It's much more approachable.
Yeah. So now, the Mary Celeste is captained by Captain Haynes, but he fell into a steep financial debt, and he had to sell the ship. And it was refitted in New York at a cost of over $10,000 in 1872.
Wow.
Which is about $272,000 in modern.
That's a hell of a facelift.
Right.
That's like a yacht.
It doesn't give the exact measurements, but basically her everything was increased. Her length, breadth, depth, everything. She was just made to just
So it's
be
a totally
bigger
different ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
What is real? What is still the ship? I mean, it's like if you replace the entire ship, isn't it just a new ship?
That's the ship of Theseus philosophy question. If you have a ship and then you replace the mast, is the mast the original ship? And then if you replace all of the parts of the ship, and put it in a museum somewhere? Is that the original ship, or is this the original ship?
There's a juggler I knew that said, and he had an axe. He's like, this is the original axe that George Washington chopped down the cherry tree with. However, I had to replace the handle and the head. But it occupies the same space.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. As the ship is now this bigger ship, this is where Benjamin Briggs buys her. So he's the captain at the helm. And he is the last and final captain. Under the new name, the first trip was to Genoa, Italy. And Captain Briggs requested his wife and daughter accompany him. And the crew was painstakingly vetted. Okay, so these just weren't just like regular people. Like everything was very thoughtful.
They were veterinarians.
Yeah, they were. They all knew how to treat dolphins. So Albert Richardson, who was first mate, he had sailed with Briggs before. Second mate, he was 25.
So he obviously knew that guy's work ethic.
Yeah. I mean, they like some people knew people, like they married people, they were friends with people.
Bunch of nepo babies.
Prior to the journey, which was in October of 1872, Captain Briggs personally supervised loading over 1,700 barrels of alcohol on the East River
For 10 people?
in New York City.
That's my kind of
Probably
part.
That's what we're talking about.
So they're taking it over to Genoa, Italy. So they were shipping it over across the Atlantic.
And the captain personally oversaw that.
Yes, he personally oversaw everything. And then his wife, Sarah, and their daughter, Sophia, she was just 2 years old. They joined him a week later. So Mary Celeste intended on leaving in November, but waited until weather cleared 2 days later. So they're going to leave on the 5th. They left on the 7th of November. Sarah, his wife, was able to send a final letter to the mother-in-law, kind of letting her know what's going on. You know, no cell phones, 1872. The Briggs family, they also had a son, Arthur, age 7. So she wrote to him, tell him I'll, like, send him some letters, you know, that I'll come get him, try to remember anything that happens in the voyage. Like, write to him, see him later.
He was probably in school.
Yeah, he was like 7 years old. So I also would like to mention that at this time, there was another ship that was leaving around the same time as the Mary Celeste called the Dei Gratia. She was anchored outside of Hoboken, New Jersey. And she was going to pick up a cargo of petroleum. So they were also going to Genoa, Italy. So it's this other ship leaving around the same time, right behind the Mary Celeste.
So they're likely to cross paths at some point.
Yeah, or be close to one another.
Or probably following.
Yeah, following. They're like right behind, yeah. So the Dei Gratia had Captain David Morehouse. He was the captain of that boat. And First Mate Oliver DeVoe in command.
So there's a reason why we're learning these names.
Yeah. These people come up.
Okay.
And they just went on their own trip and they had their own fine time. And said, I just like the people.
Period. The end.
Sir Thomas More and Belle Biv DeVoe. Got it.
So Mary Celeste left on the 7th and the Dei Gratia left on the 15th. So just 8 days behind them. On December 4th, as the Dei Gratia was past the Azores and nearing the coast of Portugal, the helmsman called out. So a vessel was lumbering towards them at a distance of about 6 miles. So Captain Morehouse noticed the erratic movements and kind of just everything didn't look right. Everything looked amiss. You know, like the sails were kind of all flailing about and everything. They weren't seeing any movement. So then the first mate from the Dei Gratia and the second mate, they dispatched like a little lifeboat to make physical contact with the Mary Celeste. And
that's like naval tradition, right? If they see some kind of vessel in distress, you stop what you're doing. Your mission isn't important anymore.
You hope.
Otherwise, I feel like you get cursed or something, right?
Neighborly.
All right, guys, have a great time. We're going to keep on going. You dying over there? All right, talk to you later.
Yeah.
So first they, confirm, okay, Mary Celeste, they look at the boat, they see the name of it, and they climb aboard, but there was nobody on board. Completely deserted.
Wow.
Creepy.
The sails were in bad condition, damaged, like ropes were flailing everywhere. The main hatch was secured, but like some of the hatches were open and their covers were just like lying just on the deck.
And they left the same time as the other ship.
About 8 days.
About 8 days
after.
difference. Oh, okay. That's a lot can happen in 8 days.
Disconcerting.
Yes. The binnacle, which is the waist-high navigational instrument that like houses the compass, was like smashed and not in place.
Yes, I've seen those things. It looks like the thing on like that golf game
Golden
that you play.
Tee.
Golden Tee. It looks like a Golden Tee thing. But
and you guys see the guys that think they're out alpha dudes when they play Golden Tee and they hit the screen
And they're
because
like-
they're
Yeah, and
so
they always say to their
so
redneck buddies,
mean.
they're like, "Hey, I'm a 19th century navigator."
Yeah, I was thinking maybe
Same
like
thing. Same thing.
constellation like instruments too.
Astrolabe.
Sextant.
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 That's exactly what it is.
Nice. In the hold of the ship, they found about 3.5 feet of water. But for a ship that size,
That's
I mean, we don't know.
Normal.
Like they said, it was big.
That's why we
but
invented bilge pumps.
Right. It's like it's doable. It's like it's significant, but it wouldn't really have been like cause to abandon ship.
right.
Really,
It's not gonna
Causing
sink
it
the
to
ship.
sink.
correct. So abandoned on the deck was a hastily fashioned like sounding rod, so to measure the depth of the water in the hold. Like so, someone was like, "Oh God," like there's things going on.
Yeah.
But the only lifeboat was missing. So kind of a good sign, but still weird, right?
Yeah.
Like the boat's still technically
Seaworthy.
seaworthy, exactly.
And you
And
said that they weren't docked. It was they were approaching the coast,
This
so
is
it's
open.
still open. It's
Still
like
open.
floating.
Yeah.
Open water,
just-
yeah.
And how much? Like, what was the size of the crew for the size of the lifeboat?
There were 10 people.
Okay, so they
overall.
could have all maybe.
Absolutely, yeah.
But why?
But why?
He's a vetted captain.
In the mate's cabin, the last journal entry was dated 9 days earlier,
Weird.
on November 25th. So this was December 4th, which placed the ship 400 nautical miles away from the. So aside from the obvious damage of water entry, like the hatches and skylights and everything else seemed normal. There were lots of provisions, supplies of food, water. Captain navigational instruments were missing. There were no evidence to suggest like fire or danger.
So navigational instruments were
The
missing.
navigational instruments
they must have-
were missing.
It's like they stole the ancient black box, kind of.
Or they got into the lifeboat and were like, let's
Where
try
are
to
we going?
navigate somewhere.
Oh,
we
okay,
need a-
maybe that. Okay,
Right.
Sophia needs a bathroom.
Yeah. So the two men returned to the De Gratia to report what they saw on Captain Morehouse. He saw salvage rights. He's like, well,
Yeah.
no one's here. It's been abandoned. Like, it's ours. So,
You can't leave that booze
He's rubbing his
Yeah.
beard going, 17,000, you say. Alcohol? All right.
all right. So he split his crew in two in both vessels and towed the derelict Mary Celeste 600 nautical miles to Gibraltar,
Jesus.
where it was immediately impounded by the Vice Admiralty. Haha.
Pinky's out.
This is where things get like really wild with this. It's already such a mystery of what happened at the sea, but then like also how things are handled.
Yeah, why would
gets
they
weird.
immediately impound it?
So there's like a whole salvage court on December 17th, and this Attorney General of Gibraltar, this Frederick Sollyflood. It was a great name.
Sally Flood.
Sollyflood.
Sollyflood?
Yeah.
He better not be the captain. That's just terrible.
No, he's the Attorney General of Gibraltar,
Even
which is
worse.
also a cool title, though.
Digit 2.
AGG. He was kind of noted as being very like pompous and just like always trying to act a little smarter than he actually was.
Dick.
And he just decided that there was like foul play because there was alcohol, like the alcohol. He was just assumed like, oh, obviously something happened here.
Always blame it on the booze.
It was examined. Obviously the ship was examined. There were 2 large cuts in the bow, and they were said to be intentionally caused by 2 independent observers.
Oh, okay.
And then someone else said there were stains on one of the ship rails suggesting blood, and they thought maybe with an axe. So the conclusion, the De Gratia, the crew got to the alcohol and murdered Briggs' family. So they're thinking like the crew just kind of went nuts, got to the booze, murdered the family, and they all just kind of like left in this like drunken rage, like because everything was
party
just,
with these guys.
because it was like
I wanna
so
party with
weird,
these
right?
guys.
And they just like grabbed navigational tools and like left, So then they thought they like cut into it, and like there's a missing lifeboat, and
I want to see the movie made of that.
Yeah, it's like the
that's-
Red Wedding at sea.
right, it's like Cocaine Bear
The
somehow.
Muppets
yeah.
present Marie Celeste.
Oh my gosh, who would be the one like real person in that? Pedro Pascal.
Yeah. That's it. I'd like to see Walton Goggins.
Oh, actually,
yeah,
that would be good. Yeah.
Listen here, Kermit with his big ass teeth.
Gee, I don't know, Kermit. This guy's giving me some weird vibes.
Nice. That was a good
That
Kermit.
was very good. So Captain Morehouse and the crew, like they were accused of covering something up. Like,
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like when they like oh,
Right.
we're just gonna impound this, and oh, don't worry about what happened.
This guy James Winchester comes into play in the story. He was one of the Mary Celeste owners. He came along and he was like, when can we just sell this alcohol, though? Part of this whole thing is like this alcohol.
Oh, he must have been hurting for money, dude.
Yeah, like
you got to be kidding me. So when was that?
That was in January. So I don't know when.
This has been a long.
They missed Christmas.
Several months.
You know,
and this guy is like, yes, it's a tragedy. Yes.
Yes, we don't know where they are, but can we get the barrels of booze? Like, come on.
I understand that, though, like, as a business owner, to be like, okay, look, we get it, but can we sell the 17,000 fucking barrels of alcohol so we can pay? We're in debt, dude. We're dying here. Like, please, and then we can figure this out.
Not literally dying. Like, somebody may have died on this boat, but still, we're hurting financially.
So then, for whatever reason, this, like, Attorney General, this crazy guy, Sully Flood, because this Winchester guy was like, hey, can we just figure out what to do here? He made these, like, accusations that insinuated Winchester. So this new guy purposefully hired Briggs to murder everybody on board. So this is what he started saying.
Including his family?
People are just getting wild with creativity here.
Because he's like, following Winchester's vehement testimonies to the contrary, the scientific community then rammed it in Flood's mouth and said there was no evidence of blood at all anywhere on the ship. And there were not intentional cuttings of the bow at all. So rather, it was a natural damage from stress on, like, the actual boat.
Yeah. So scientists were like, you have to stop talking.
Right.
You don't know what you're saying, Mr. Rogan.
He took as long as he could and then just released it because he's a little bitch.
Hey!
Anyway, Captain Morehouse and First Mate DeVoe, because they wanted salvage rights. They wanted some money for at least the boat. Like,
they did the effort of towing it in.
They at least brought it in.
We pulled this shit in. It's now ours.
And you know what? That probably took so long, tugging along.
That's a lot of extra.
And you're just like, we got all this booze. We're going to make all this money.
This boat is like a half-full bucket of water. It's not like something that's cruising.
Mm-hmm. Everybody, blow up them sails!
Yeah, there's no motor to help out.
No.
Like, this is just by wind power.
Yeah. Captain Morehouse, so the guys from the Dei Gratia and First Mate, they received like a very low payout for the boat, for the salvage mission. The alcohol, however, was sold at great profit. Of course, they didn't see any of that. And they were just forever seen as just like behaving suspiciously, like they did it. Oh well, like they tried.
And that's it?
Well,
there we go.
Ring. So, I mean, it was such a confusing story though, like foul play, like people were still thinking about that, you know, and also this Attorney General, like his incompetence about it too. So one of the only other possible theories relates to like the content of the hold. So the ship's log makes multiple mentions of rumblings and sounds coming from the hold.
Oh.
So like barrels of alcohol naturally can emit gas. Maybe like someone could have gone out with a candle, open flame.
But
like,
they said there was no fire
They didn't see
damage.
any fire thing. So, I mean, the displaced hatches and stuff like that allowed water in. In the panic, they just left the boat, like they were scared. But no, they didn't see anything. There was just nothing that they could really figure out. Aside from just any other thing that could happen on the water.
Right.
A water spout, a submarine earthquake, you know, something coming from underneath, a displaced iceberg. Like, it was in winter, you know, like...
Yeah.
The ship was just left to rot because no one wanted a cursed ship.
No, I'm not touching that fucking ship.
Come on.
And she was intentionally sunk in an obvious insurance fraud scheme. That's a whole other thing. So no one knows what happened to Captain Briggs, his wife, their daughter Sophia, all the crew members. Yeah, just lost to the sea.
What's fascinating about this is that if it was, like, let's say piracy, you would take some barrels of alcohol.
You would take
Something.
food.
You would
They
Well,
didn't
I mean,
take
provisions.
You would take
Yeah,
provisions.
provisions.
But it's a small, you know, we don't know the size of the lifeboat, so it might have been like, okay, they show up, let's get the fuck out of Dodge.
But
right
they would
now.
definitely have some kind of freshwater hold, and that was
Yeah.
probably okay. That
Or,
was
like,
fine. Like,
Fine meats and cheeses. That why wouldn't you
Ooh,
take those
meats and
with
cheeses.
you?
I mean, these people seemed like they had money. Like, they were,
Right.
like, of wealth.
And if
you
it was
know?
pirates that were attacking, wouldn't there have been, like,
signs of a struggle.
yeah, like violent damage to the ship?
Yeah, they said the only thing was like slight water damage from being adrift for 9
Which I think
days.
ships
November
just take
25th,
on water naturally, so that could just be what happens when you're not bailing out.
but the
but there
boat
were
would have eventually
scrapes.
sank if that was true.
Yeah, there were scrapes on the side though.
Maybe they were just giant pussies. The pirates showed up and they're like, fuck this, take the
it.
booze right
Yeah.
here.
You know what to do, Frank? He goes, right. He goes back, just starts slashing. Sink the boat. You got it, right?
Do it!
Just going ape shit with it.
That is another theory, yeah.
And to this day,
We have cracked the case. We have cracked the case.
and so 100 and 40 years later, 150 years later, nobody knows what happened to these people?
No, there's no way that's going to be solved.
Yeah.
So all the people that owned the ship sunk it so they could get the money for the sinking. But who profited off all the booze they sold?
Probably
That Winchester. Yeah, Winchester. That was the whole
Yeah.
thing. They were bringing it over to Italy with all the alcohol.
Wait a minute.
The owners
You're
of the
saying that
consortium.
rich people are gaining the system
Yep.
using insurance scams for hundreds of years?
And
There's no way
no.
that's
and the whole
real.
crew that they were just these sailors. They
Pawns.
they brought that ship in. They're the reason why all these people were able to get the profit off of that, and they got nothing for it. So that's the Mary Celeste, and here's the lifeboat, which is super creepy because where are the people?
Kind of cool, though.
How did he even get this?
Yeah, it looks like he damaged the fuck out of it trying to look at this. There's a CD player he tried to install.
I don't even know how that works.
It does work though. Oh, you
It
can
does
take
have anti-skip protection. That stuff is always
and
tight.
anti-theft. You can take it off.
Yeah,
5 discs.
He's got a subwoofer
This is
over
creeping
here.
me out. This is creeping
Weird.
me out.
Everything
Get
creeps you out.
of this warehouse.
As I'm looking at this awesome subwoofer, I also see the back door of this office open. Do you guys want to check it out?
let's
Yeah.
go.
Well,
Let's
we
go.
always like secret
Why
passages.
not?
If there's a secret passage, we're going in.
Yeah.
It's
Let's
just
see.
a regular passage.
I mean, the door is
No.
very
I want to.
welcoming.
It's secret to me because I just saw it.
Okay.
Lots of knobs in here.
Oh, wow, the lights still work.
Musty.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's cool.
Allergies.
a lot of maps.
I know.
A lot of maps.
Have you guys seen The Last of Us?
You
Yeah.
forced me to actually see it. You actually literally forced me to see the last
Because this is nothing like that.
Okay.
Over there, we see a map.
Yeah, there's a lot of maps in here.
They don't have many maps in The Last of Us. But it does look like this is Restrepum Bay.
Yep, there it is.
Oh,
It says it
yeah.
right there.
So we are. Yes. Yeah.
It looks like just right across the bay, there's a jam.
How dare you?
Well, that kind of makes sense with all the landscaping that has to be
So
done here.
he
So-
flooded this land?
Yeah, that's not cool.
Re-engineering
So
the land.
What's underneath Restrepum Bay?
Death.
It does look like there's some
Disgusting.
other markings on this map. Marie, check out the map. Can you see anything on it?
All right. I'm looking. So it kind of looks like little homes. You know, like in Monopoly, we get like little homes.
It does look like that.
It's like
yeah.
I'm having really bad flashbacks.
Like a
from
little
playing
pyramid
this.
on top of a
I feel
cube.
like I want to get in a fight with a family member.
Yeah, that's all Monopoly is there for. There's two things. You either get in a fight with a family member, or later on you step on one and they make Legos seem pleasant. Because I still have a house from Monopoly that's been going through my bloodstream since 1976 when I stepped on it.
Probably get
And
that
so
looked at, my man.
No, I mean I can see it. I can see it coming up, and so it's fine. But I mean, it's like stay right where you are.
At least you know where it's at. We go across here into this dam.
Yeah.
I think we can make it.
By swimming?
No.
But if we find a seaworthy vessel out there, I mean, let's go check out. We're on a dock. Let's go see if there's some boats. Let's go check it out.
Why would there be boats at a? Oh, dock. Okay, I'm sorry.
I thought that was pretty clear.
If we do want to get across this bay, we need a ship.
Yeah,
Of
Something
some sort.
seaworthy.
And
Need a vessel.
I don't see anything
I mean,
around.
at least has to hold 5 of us and, not sink. So let's just...
I can just hold on to the side. I know that's what you guys are thinking. It's like, oh,
All right,
yeah,
Granddaddy, you go over there, you look over there.
Okay.
Big Sprite, you go over there, you look over there. Marie, you go over there, you look over there. Angela, you go over there, you look over there.
You just told us all to go to the same spot.
All right, let's all go over to the thing he pointed at.
I'm going to stay here.
Yeah, okay.
guys find anything?
Big, giant ass boats.
There's a
Lot of
empty
big
space.
So no boats?
Big boats.
In here.
Hey guys,
Here.
Oh, no.
guys,
I hear the anxiety.
guys, there's
Oh,
something
no.
coming through the fog.
I guess we'll just go
Through
back to
through
looking
the smell
for
lines.
fuel.
There's look. Do you see that?
Oh! What is it?
It's a.
Oh, it's cruising through the fog. Oh, it's a sailing ship. Oh, my God.
Well, that looks appropriately sized. That's very.
That's got a new paint job.
It looks like a nice, it looks like it's got good wood. It's like, just like me, it's got,
Wow,
it's
this thing. It's moving awfully
That's
fast.
coming in hot.
Hey!
All right.
It just perfectly parked at the dock. This is convenient.
That's a convenient and creepy. Let's just accept the ship of fate.
mystery ship
the
of fate?
mystery ship of fate. Let's just all put
right.
our lives in the
Yeah.
hands of the mystery ship of fate. Let's why do that.
What could go wrong?
Nothing could go wrong.
Wait, hold
I'm
on.
pretty
Does
sure
anyone know how to work a sail?
None of us have any sailing skills. None of
Figure it
us.
out.
Guys,
We'll figure it out.
I got this.
This will
How
be
do you
smooth
have
sailing.
sailing skills?
From back in my sailing days.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I got this.
Captain Marie at the helm.
All right, Angela, you get the wheel?
Yeah, I got it.
All right, I got the sails. Point in that direction.
What do you want me to do?
Felix told me how to do this.
What do you want me to do?
Just sit there.
Sit down?
Yeah, just sit down.
No, not on the same side,
I'm
you guys.
sorry.
We're going to tip
Get
over.
off the rudder.
All right.
Where do I do?
More
what do I do with my
specific
hands?
instructions. You go over there. You go over there.
Can I hoist the jib? I've always wanted to hoist the jib.
What is that?
I got it.
Is this the mizzen mast?
Oh my god, I'm going to sink this fucking boat.
You're listening to Fort Fritz. Welcome back to Fort Fritz. We are on a sailboat. I am your host, Fritz, as always, joined by co-host Mandaddy.
Hi.
Nick Spry.
Ahoy.
First mate Angela.
Ahoy, ahoy.
And Captain Marie.
Yo.
Does that make me second mate?
I don't know.
Is there a
Definitely
second
not.
mate?
Because I'm not doing fuck off over here. I got every...
Can you please
Life
stop
sails
running
going
back and
on,
forth?
I have a life vest
What I'm
on.
doing.
Just sit down and
Five
do
of
what I
them.
asked you to do.
I feel a little seasick.
Oh boy,
Oh,
just
this
stare at the
guy,
horizon.
this guy.
Stare at the horizon.
Right, just sit down
Whoa.
too. It's fine. Angela and I have this. All right.
Careful, buddy.
Back-
Man,
That
Daddy-
mizzen mast comes at you fast.
A lot of fog. Where the hell are we going?
I don't know. Man, Daddy, you man the anchor. Just
Oh.
in case.
Well, I mean...
We don't know where land is. since
So I
it's
need
so
to,
foggy.
I need to pull the anchor up or drop the anchor?
Just
'Cause
sit by it so when
just
we need
stand
to
out,
drop
hang
it,
out with the
it's
anchor.
fine.
All right,
Yeah.
buddy. It's you and me, buddy.
Fritz, what are you doing?
yeah.
Why
I'm
do you? Why,
sitting here politely like you told me to.
why do you have 4 life vests on?
He has way
Dude,
more than 4 on.
We need...
happening?
Each of us should have a life vest.
Yes!
No,
Wait
you
a
guys
minute.
said you didn't... No, you said, though, you didn't want because of fashion. No, you said...
No one
No,
said
that's not
anything.
No one
fashion.
said
Well,
that.
that's
You
what
didn't
I
even
heard.
tell us his brother.
That's what I heard.
Fashion.
Guys, we're going to need those
You
life
guys want
vests.
one of the life vests?
Yes!
Yes! At least one per person is usually the allotment.
All right,
That is
here you go. I'm
perfect.
taking one off.
How'd you even move your
And I'm
arms
throwing
around?
it out.
Hey!
No!
Why? You guys have been holding me back for a long time now.
No!
Wow.
Just keep the
You're
wheels
holding us
steady.
back from surviving.
Fritz, we need those life jackets.
Losing it.
Guys, I'm freaking out.
Doubt it.
Just everybody sit in your spots that I allotted you. Angela, keep steering straight.
I'm
We got
trying,
this.
but they're running around.
I know.
The boat
Fritz,
go
What is
everywhere.
that?
Fort.
You guys hear the sound.
Yeah, I hear all that.
Sit down.
No.
Yes, that'll happen if you stay
Careful
down.
there, Fritzy.
What is going on?
Sounds like a gnashing or some sort of flailing. I don't know, guys.
You hear
Does
it?
anything
on
other than
him.
teeth ever gnash?
Right? You hear that?
There's
Hold
like
on,
a
listen,
thumping. There's like a thumping sound.
What is it? Is one. No, that's me, Daddy.
Yeah.
Pay no mind to him. You hear it, right?
Yeah!
Yeah.
And now it's over here.
Okay, what is that? Who's doing that?
It's not me this
I
time.
want to see everybody's hands. Hands up.
Guys, no, look, we need those life jackets. Fritz, you better... damn it. Oh, God. Guys, you know how important life jackets are?
I have been concussed 3 times. I think I need 4 life jackets.
Put it on your head.
No.
The word life is involved.
You know how important these things are, guys. They will literally save lives, hundreds of lives. Have you guys ever heard of the USS Indianapolis? The story of the USS Indianapolis. Literally, after helping to end World War II, the story of the USS Indianapolis is considered to be both the biggest blunder in U.S. naval history and the largest shark attack in known human history.
Oh.
Originally commissioned in 1931.
Wait, why are you telling us this?
Well, because you need a life jacket,
This is
dude!
something a good idea right now.
Seems
Not really
highly
improving morale
inappropriate.
right
No.
now.
We keep hearing bumps.
I think it's a good cautionary tale.
It is!
Oh, okay, that was a big one.
Yeah.
Ugh. So the Indianapolis was a Portland-class heavy cruiser that is smaller, faster, and less armed and armored than a battleship, but larger and a bit more fortified than, say, a light cruiser. The Indianapolis was 186 meters long, 20 meters at its width. It displaced 9,950 log tons. It employed 8 boilers to power 4 Parsons reduction steam turbines motoring the 4 massive screws or propellers.
I don't even know what you're talking about anymore. What about some cubits?
Use washing machines.
So a long ton is approximately 2,240 pounds. It's what the U.S.'s standard unit of measurement is for big loads.
Oh, okay, long tongue.
Yeah, a long ton.
A long tongue.
Like a long pig.
A long
Bigger than a
tongue.
regular tongue?
Delicious.
Yeah, this is the bigger tongue.
Oh boy.
So this boat, it was armed with 8 25 caliber anti-aircraft guns, 9 8-inch 55 caliber guns, and 2 3-pounder 47 millimeter saluting guns. The ones that kind of, I'm doing this. This is not a good medium for an audio podcast, but it's the kind of the long straight ones that
He's
kind
doing
of
the Seminole
go,
chop.
yeah, like up and down, very phallic like. So. At the time of this incident, its crew numbered 1,197 men.
Wow.
This was no fucking joke.
Damn.
And so up until this point, this was one of the prides of the U.S. Navy. It served as Roosevelt's ship of state for 3 different tours. It fought in 10 major battles, including being a figure in the bombardment during the Battle of Iwo Jima. And a month later, a kamikaze pilot dive-bombed right into the hull, and this caused extensive damage, and it forced the cruiser to port for repairs. And its very next mission was pivotal to the outcome of the war in the Pacific and in Japan's very surrender. So before that, remember this, at this time, most of the enlisted men were extremely young men. Many of the survivors of this tragedy admitted to being barely 17, 18, 19 years old. So just keep this fact in mind when you're thinking about the mindset of these boys as they enter into one of the most brutal stories of human survival in all of the horrors that traversed World War II.
We send people whose brains aren't even fully functioning in to do the work of rich people that will never see dirt on or blood on their hands. It's crazy.
Yeah, the logic is staggering.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. So it's July 16th, 1945, and the Indianapolis departs the San Francisco Naval Harbor after being outfitted with special top-secret cargo. Cargo that is so secret that special containers were built just to hold it and welded to the ship to house this mysterious gear. The officers and the crew did not know what was contained inside these massive crates.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, like a Philadelphia experiment kind of thing.
So the men took bets as to what the contents of this could be.
Porn.
Porn. Some said weapons, all the way to the outlandish of saying a metric ton's worth of cinnamon toilet paper to be delivered directly to General MacArthur.
Wait, cinnamon toilet paper?
Yeah, that's spicy.
Dude, that is, I am interested in that. That is a new adventure right there. We did open for those guys in Tampa.
It's bound to happen. So the crew would not realize until weeks later that they had been responsible for the transport of the enriched uranium and other parts that were vital for the assemblage of the atomic bombs that were subsequently dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Wow.
Fun fact.
Serious shit.
Yeah.
This was about half of the entire world's supply of uranium-235 at the time.
What?
Yes, we got some people to blow up.
So, they left from San Francisco, and they went to Pearl Harbor in Hawaii. And also, due to the top-secret nature of this voyage, the Indianapolis would sail on to Tinian, one of the major islands in the Mariana Islands, like in the middle of nowhere. That's where Guam is, off to the east. So they're in the middle of literally nowhere. But they
Subtle Guamness. Like this, whoever wants to go to Guam is just out of nowhere.
Side note, I did have a friend who was on a submarine and that kept having to land in Guam. And like at first he'd be like, I'm in Guam, it's cool. Then after like the 10th time, he's like, I'm in fucking Guam again.
It's not so cool this time.
Yeah, there's really nothing else to do. There's like four
Not really a tourist spot.
There's like
Guam.
4 restaurants, and I know every single person here.
By the way, to our listeners in Guam, we love you.
Yeah. Thank
Keep listening to Fort Fritz.
everyone in Guam.
So the Indianapolis had to complete this last leg because of the secret nature of the mission alone, without an escort.
That's insane. Like, here, just take this alone across this ocean. Everything will be fine.
It's fine. We don't
No
have
worries.
Just the most treacherous ocean
You're good.
in the world.
It's only half the world's uranium-235.
Yeah.
See you later, 19-year-old.
Not unstable at all.
Good luck.
So, the cruiser successfully delivered its cargo on July 26th. And at a record-breaking pace. It actually set a sea speed record doing this.
Yeah.
We gotta get this shit over here right now.
Out of here.
And then the ship went on to Guam to relieve some of the soldiers who were at the end of their tours and pick up fresh crew members before departing on the 28th of July for Leyte in the Philippines.
Fresh Guam people.
They were supposed to go to the Philippines to receive training before advancing to Okinawa to meet with Vice Admiral Oldendorf's Task Force 95.
What?
Task Force 95.
Wow. I love that.
They would never make it.
Oh, no.
Damn.
Shortly after midnight on July 30th, 1945, the Indianapolis engaged with the I-58, a Japanese submarine captained by Matsuchiro Hashimoto. Weather conditions had been poor, and it was at the discretion of the captain of Indianapolis, Charles R. McVeigh III, that they would not choose to employ a normal evasive maneuver, which they commonly call zigzagging, where you're turning the ship back and forth in open water in order to avoid torpedo attacks. And the I-58 launched 6 torpedoes in order to counteract, in case they decided to zigzag, 6 torpedoes which would mean that there was no escape, no matter what they did.
They immediately had their number.
Yes. Damn. 2 of these torpedoes would strike the warship near the bow and midship, near the powder magazine, which is basically where they would store gunpowder, warheads, things like that. And there was a massive explosion that would rip the boat down to the keel, causing the ship to list to one side, knocking out all electrics and communications eventually, both internally and externally, and the bow took on enough water that the giant cruiser would upend and sink into the black depths of the Pacific, and the Indy's behemoth screws are the last thing to disappear into the darkness. And this only took 12 minutes.
Oh, have you ever,
and it's
that's
in the
a
middle
scary
of the
thing.
night.
You watch certain ships sink. It goes slowly, and all of a sudden, once it tips,
Ass up.
whoa,
Yep.
Yeah.
it's gone.
Also causes a massive whirlpool and sucks
Yep.
anything within its vicinity down.
1,100 sailors, right?
Almost 1,200.
Damn.
Yeah. But, with the explosion, obviously there were lives lost. During these 12 minutes in that the ship was sinking, word of mouth had to be relied on for the crew to communicate with one another. Everyone eventually waiting for the order to abandon ship. Distress calls were put out. In fact, 3 were put out, and it is a mystery to this day as to why those calls were never responded to. The explosion wounded numerous sailors, killed others, and also dumped massive amounts of oil and fuel into the ocean. And those slicks do not dissipate. They are stuck together, floating on top of the water, covering droves of men and the surfaces in which they would salvage to float in the black tar.
That I never thought about that. The fact that
me
you're
neither.
drowning and you're trying to break the surface and you're in
can't.
an oil slick.
Yeah, and you're
And
slippery.
it's covering you. Oh my god, that's more terrifying than I've ever thought about being in the ocean.
It's also just after midnight, so it is pitch black except for the moonlight.
Anything,
Yeah.
and you're all slimy and slippery.
879 men survived the attack, but many would succumb to their injuries and wounds or shock within the first 8 hours.
That's less than half.
And then the sharks came. So not many lifeboats could be saved from the Indianapolis. Many men formed clusters relying on debris, what life jackets, Fritz, were available, and each other
you, man.
to stay afloat. For the next several days, the men would fight exposure to the sun, constant exposure to the salt water on the skin, which
Days?
makes your skin slough off in chunks.
Slough. You never skin slough.
The word for this is great. It's called disquamination. Yes. Rescuers recount having to lift men out of the water by their life jackets because touching their skin and
Would
tissue
peel off.
would slip it right off of them.
Oh my god, that is something that's like it's like a full body being gloved.
Yeah.
Like a full body,
Yeah.
you're getting full body gloved.
Well, that's degloving.
So in addition to the disquamination, the sun exposure, the constant exposure to the salt water, they had a lack of drinking water. None. Like no water to drink.
Yeah.
Because they had very little, if any, food. Some said that there was crackers about or cans of Spam.
Yeah, that people
Yeah,
had.
there
And
you
then
go.
there were,
And not to mention, also, being pitch black at night, the injuries from the attacks suffered, and being covered in crude. They had to deal with all of this while also dealing with the worst shark attack in human history.
Oh my god, that sounds like absolute hell.
Yeah, stuff of nightmares. for
Drawn
sure.
initially to the wreckage, the abundant number of corpses floating in the water. It's thought that a mix of oceanic white-tip and tiger sharks were responsible for the ensuing carnage. And it
tiger
is-
sharks don't fuck around.
No.
either.
Yeah, they're
No,
very
they do not.
aggressive
very
species.
aggressive. And it's likely that their numbers would have been in the hundreds.
Damn.
And they became increasingly frenzied in their appetite, and they boldly began attacking the live survivors, picking them off one by one
That's
and
more
dragging
fun.
them beneath the ocean.
As they start kicking, right, there's more sound and then
Yes.
more stimulus
Yes.
that they
And they're
go
just
towards.
right down the gullet with the oil, just like
And
slurping
they think
right
about
down.
it being like
And the
like
extra
a dying
blood
fish.
in the water,
So when they
just
see
flapping around.
sharks.
flapping around, people are going to go and attack it. People, I mean sharks.
These
That was
Sharks
my
are
personal
people,
opinion.
too.
Sharks are people too. Some of these attacks did happen in broad daylight. A lot of them, in fact. And in the Pacific Ocean, the water is crystal clear. So men literally watched their friends being dragged under the ocean and ripped to bits by these sharks.
Imagine being huddled and then just hoping other
Yeah.
people get it before you do, man.
The
That's crazy.
psychological damage
time,
that
I'm
Yeah.
would do.
Wow, this is some really clear water.
So obviously, the men became fearful and despondent. Several men committed suicide outright, while others, with hallucinations of distant islands, lured others to watery tombs.
Jeez.
Others tried to congregate in larger groups and organize shark watches, screaming and splashing the water in attempts to scare them off or striking them if possible. Others would use Spam as a decoy, throwing it in the water to put them off the scent.
That's genius.
Yeah. So this continued for 4 days.
4
Oh my
days.
God.
That is horrible.
The Indianapolis was not cited as missing when it did not arrive at its destination in Leyte. Despite having been able to send off its 3 separate distress signals before losing communications as the vessel sunk, and despite those signals being received, no action was taken in response.
Oh, no.
It's strangely thought that a commanding officer on duty was drunk at the time these messages were sent.
Uh-oh.
The U.S. Navy was not aware that the Indy had been sunk, and no search was underway.
All those people out there, no one's like, hey, where are those 1,200 people?
Yeah.
That's why the sea is scary. The sea is so much bigger than people think, and that we've only explored like 30% of the ocean. It's even less than that.
Because of this incident, and since then, the Navy has implemented sort of checks and balances to make sure that
this set like a precedence.
Yes,
It's a hell of a whoopsie daisy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hell of a whoopsie daisy.
Yeah. Whoops.
It happens.
On the 4th day, August 2nd, as the men were adrift, by chance, a PD-1 Ventura bomber piloted by Lieutenant Wilbur Chuck Gwynn and a PD-42 Catalina piloted by Bill Kitchen. These are U.S. naval aircraft out on a routine patrol. They noticed something in the waters, and they saw men after they circled back. Gwynn radioed a report to the base at Pelelu that, quote, many men in the water, end quote. This was the first that the U.S. Navy was made aware that anything at all had happened to the Indianapolis.
Wow.
A seaplane sent a report on the situation and to airdrop life rafts disobeyed orders to not land on the ocean, but the pilot, Lieutenant Adrian Marks, had seen the men being attacked by sharks, and he felt compelled to save as many lives as possible.
All right.
I should do something about this.
Yeah.
His landing absolutely ruined the plane. It would not fly again, but he did land, and it did stay afloat. So, the ruined plane provided much-needed safe harbor for the 56 men that he pulled out of the water and laid across the wings and fuselage of the ship.
Ton of dudes.
All those
That's a
people
ton
just
of dudes.
climbing up the ship, trying to get to safety.
Yeah.
And finally, after 5 days of waiting,
Oh my God.
ships arrived to rescue the remaining survivors and transport them to hospital.
Let me guess, 300 survivors.
Of the original 1,197 men, 316
Wow.
remained after this insane true
That's
tale
fucking terrible.
My
of willpower
God.
and survival. Yeah.
That is terrible.
Just how long were they just on the ship once they brought up the majority of them? How long were they just on top of the plane?
yeah, that's a good question, yeah.
Once they were on the plane, it was probably about maybe 12 more hours before a ship arrived.
Wow.
Yeah, because then it was like,
But there was
okay,
also hundreds of other men in the
there's
water.
already
still.
days
Right.
before
Yeah.
that, so my
It's like
God.
in the sun, baking.
Of course, the Navy needed a scapegoat. So, who did they go after? But Charles McVeigh
Japan.
III. No.
Japan.
I was going to say
No.
Biden.
Who was court-martialed later on, the captain of the ship.
Really?
On 2 counts.
Wow.
Oh.
Yes.
Did he die?
He did not die. He survived. He was one of the survivors.
Oh my gosh.
And the crew adamantly said that he did everything correctly. That he gave because one of the charges was that he didn't do the proper zigzagging, but he had given orders. Actually, the captain of the I-58, Matsushiro Hashimoto, testified on Captain McVeigh's behalf, saying, I shot out torpedoes in such an array that there was no way he could have avoided it. This is not this man's fault. The other charge he was brought up on was not giving the abandoned ship order in enough time.
How could he have?
Right. He was court-martialed. The men did...
But they lost all of the electricity too. They couldn't even communicate with one another.
Well, they had it for a few minutes, but then it eventually went out. They were able to get
generators,
off the distress
backup
queues.
generators, probably.
Sounds like they needed a scapegoat.
Eventually, after decades, the survivors of the Indianapolis fought to clear Captain McVeigh's name. He actually had killed himself about 20 years after because of receiving hate mail from people who were lost in the wreckage and things like that. Just a continuous spout of hate towards this man. But his name was cleared under President Clinton towards the end of the 90s. But that's why we need those flippin' life jackets!
Seriously, Fritz.
I'm not giving them away! You need to give at least one per person.
Come on,
Look at you, you weigh
seriously.
like $1 nothing.
It's
Come on.
maritime law.
Now! I'm going to rip them off here. I'm going to take them. I'm going to take them.
Guys, we're rocking the boat.
Stop.
What's that?
It's getting louder now.
What's that? Oh, my.
Well, hold on. It's getting louder.
What's that? I don't like this. I'm even more nervous than Nick's pride.
We're hauling ass.
Oh, wow. We're getting that rooster tail in the back. That's nice. Look at that.
You're a good captain, Marine.
Can you all man up for a second? What direction
Yes,
are we
I can
going?
man up. I can't see.
Forward.
There's
We're
fog.
going forward.
Please get out of my way.
Oh, my God. Oh, this is not a fun one. My best friend, you're going to be with me when I die.
And we're here.
I was like, Captain Roll.
Wow. We actually gently landed here.
That was nice.
That's a
Y'all-
soft
All
landing.
right, I'm going to get the hell out of this boat.
Yeah.
Okay, that was...
It's good
All right.
to be back on land.
Good, yeah, it's good to be on land.
Solid
I mean,
solid
it's good to have
legs.
shoes. It's good to have shoes on land. We can all
Nice.
admit
Still feel a
that.
little like
Feel-
woozy, though. Sea legs.
Yeah, I got my sea legs. Yeah.
Damn.
It's a damn fine dam.
Is this
No,
supposed to...
it doesn't look good at all. Actually.
That's yeah.
Why don't you like dams? Dams are there. I mean, beavers create them. Beavers are great.
I mean, I don't know of any dams that have vines
Holes in them?
growing through the middle, man, Daddy.
It's not even like a little Dutch boy putting his thumb in the dice.
Yeah, they usually
Why
come
is
with
that
those.
a thing?
I'm going to set up a little fire, a little camp here. We're going to just eat some breakfast because, good
Ooh,
God
nice.
in heaven, I'm hungry as shit.
Yeah, that's a good
And I
one.
have a bunch of vegan meat. I
Oh,
can
God damn it.
What?
Now, come on.
What?
There's no such thing as vegan meat.
Now, what? Now I did something wrong?
Guys, the boat, it's moving. The boat.
What's taking it?
I told you to tie it off. What?
You didn't.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? That is so cool.
Falling John.
That's a Johnsty.
Oh, look at that guy. We haven't seen him in a while.
Falling
It's been a
John
while.
just wrapped his tentacle around the stern of the ship, and he's going back to the naval yard. Guys, he was with us. That was the bumping.
It's like he was
Okay.
He's like hugging the ship. He's like was trying to hug us, but he can't because he's a giant tentacled beast.
But he's also slowly taking it away, like.
Yeah, that's what he does. That's he's a very complex creature. This
It
Folly
also
Johns.
explains the interstellar speed we were going
Yeah,
at.
that does.
In
That
a
definitely
sailboat.
does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of our own fault.
I'm glad I didn't say anything bad about him.
Do you guys think he was like helping us out?
I mean, he's never been mean to us.
He kind of pushed the ship
He
over.
definitely
to
got us here safely. Maybe we're on the right track.
We have to be on the right track. If
Yeah.
Folly Zhang's helping, Folly Zhang's
They were
killed
close.
a guy.
Yeah, he did kill a guy.
He did kill a guy, but
He
that
brutally emaciated.
I don't know why you're
dismembered a
laughing,
guy.
but yeah, he did.
because it was funny as fuck. Do you remember that episode?
I was terrified.
Allegedly.
But you guys are all alive to tell the tale.
Allegedly. I wasn't actually there.
If Folly Zhang's represents the unknown, maybe there is a spark of the unknown that is guiding us towards our next mission.
Very beautiful and poetic. Is that the fort? I see the fort.
Oh, hey, look at that.
that.
Wow, it's actually
can't see it
way
really nice in the distance.
Oh,
You know, as we're now on the shore of this distant land, looking back at Fort Fritz, I realize, almost like that pale blue dot photo of Earth taken by the Voyager 1 spacecraft over 3.5 billion miles away, I now realize that is all we know. The fort is all we know. And if you are a homeowner, now is the perfect time to refinance or to maybe lock in that low-interest HELOC loan through That Mortgage Guy Don at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
maybe it is time to buy.
Folly John just seems to be pushing people where they need to go. And so we need to just listen to Folly John's advice.
Yeah.
And we need to, let's camp out a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's make a little fire. So we're going to just enjoy a little bit of time together. Then we're going to advance to the dam and see what's going on over there with that damn thing. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
The
that's
first
like-
one was just DAM, and the other one had an N at the end.
I didn't hear the
don't know
end.
if y'all noticed that. It was very clever.
So
of
damn.
me.
Okay, gotcha.
And so we're just going to take a little break, and we're going to see you soon. So I am your co-host, Man Daddy. Right over here, we have your host, Fritz.
Man, Daddy, I burned your Morningstar bacon.
And so over here, we have Angela.
Do we really want to take advice from a squid today?
So Marie, give everyone some love.
Yeah, you know.
And of course, we have the amazing Nick Spry.
I'm going to have eggs Dante Alighieri.
I don't have eggs. Yeah, I don't have eggs on me.
Well, okay. I won't.
All right, so we're going to take some time off. You can figure out what's going on. We're going to work our way towards the dam. Thank you all very much for listening. And this is Fort Fritz.